Hello everybody, welcome or welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I want to talk about perfumes that I have been completely obsessed over for the last months. And if this is something that you're into, then please stay tuned. And I would love to start with my recent discovery, which is Soie Malaquais by Dres Van Noten. And I'm sorry for butchering the name. I have watched many videos of how people pronounce it, and I tried, but I just can't get it right, the second word at least. And this perfume I actually tried a couple of years ago in the fall, and it was like, I was a couple years into my fragrance journey, and I tried it and I was just kind of like not impressed with it. I don't really know. I sprayed it a couple times and I was like, man, whatever, like, and then I just left my sample alone for 2 years, even more than 2 years probably. And so this spring I accidentally completely by accident, I was like, oh, I have this sample, let me try it again. And I tried it and I fell in love. This is like my new signature, along with the other one, at least for the foreseeable future. I really love this perfume. It's so chic, it's sophisticated, it's kind of understated, but it's just so captivating and addictive to me. This scent is definitely worth trying, and this scent can be easily somebody's signature scent, because in any weather I can see this scent working out. Even in the insane hot weather of Florida, it opens up beautifully, it doesn't choke me, it doesn't suffocate me, so I really love it. And you know, notes really don't do this fragrance justice. You really have to try it and see for yourself. But I do want to describe it for you, so at least you kind of know what you're going for. And it starts off pretty juicy, pretty like fruity, kind of a little bit playful, but still it's very elevated. There is blackcurrant and bergamot in the opening, and blackcurrant is what gives it a very juicy feeling. But do not be afraid of blackcurrant. It doesn't smell weird. Like, I'm pretty sensitive to the note of blackcurrant, and sometimes it can smell weird on my skin, but here it doesn't. It's like the best representation of blackcurrant note. And then as it starts to dry down, you do get that kind of silky smooth type of feeling. Of course, silk by itself doesn't really smell, so you will not be able to imagine how it smells. But if I would have to describe it, I would have to say that it kind of smells like a fancy clothing boutique, some kind of fashion store. You walk in there and it's like cool. You know, it's not hot. There's air conditioning, and there is this very kind of faint, but at the same time distinct smell. And you know, you're in an expensive place when it smells like that, and this perfume smells like that. And when it starts to fully dry down, the magic happens. It starts smelling more gourmand. Like, this is not a gourmand perfume in my opinion, but it starts kind of smelling gourmand. There's cacao and there's chestnut, and it definitely smells like roasted nuts, like warm roasted nuts. It kind of reminds me of very cozy and nice feeling. It's just very pleasant, super addictive perfume. It's sweet but not overpowering. It's also elevated and sophisticated. Like I've said, it's kind of like fancy, and it definitely smells like a perfume. It doesn't smell too much like cacao or chestnuts. It's just really super well blended, and I'm completely in love in this scent, and I'll be wearing it a lot in the future, and I have already been wearing it a lot for this past months. And next perfume I recently discussed on my channel, and it's Gris Dior by Dior. And I also fell in love in the scent completely unexpectedly, because I usually do not like this kind of scent profile, and I was not super familiar with Dior offerings, but this was like the last one I was excited about, just because, again, like, it was just did not sound like my type of scent profile. But the moment I sprayed it, the moment it kind of touched my skin and I smelled it, I was like, yes, I want to have a full bottle of this because it smells amazing. And this is an example of fragrance working super well with my skin chemistry. Like, it smells better on my skin than on paper and on my hair. It just smells so good. It's a shaper fragrance, and it's done in a very modern, elegant and classy kind of way. It doesn't smell like grandma, it doesn't smell dated, it doesn't smell vintagey. It just smells very classy. So the most prominent notes I get are rose, bergamot, oak moss, some woods, but woods, at least on my skin, they're definitely in the background. And there's also warmth coming from amber. I would say that most prominent notes for me are rose and oak moss, with the warmth of amber. And I really love this warmth of amber, because it kind of ties the whole scent together, because there is something like raw and green about oak moss, and rose is kind of like spiky a little bit, but amber ties it together and it gives it very warm and kind of like soft and smooth feeling. Overall, I'm a big fan of the scent, and if you want to get familiar with Dior fragrances, I would say that Dior, Gris Dior should be like the first one you try, because out of all the scents I've tried from them, this one definitely wins. This is a bestseller, and I understand why it's a bestseller. And now I want to say something about a hairspray, because I got a hairspray because I wanted to save money, and I regret it, to be honest, because first of all, like I've said, this fragrance truly smells better on my skin, and I feel like I just do not get the same effect on hair. Even though I still love it a lot, it's just not the same. And I did try spraying it on skin, and I still spray it on skin whenever I wear it, but it lasts only a couple hours, that's first, and second, it doesn't project. Like if I smell my skin up close, yes, I smell it, but it doesn't project whatsoever. It sits really close to skin. And also I have to say, it kind of smells different. Like it smells kind of more mossy, it smells more kind of musky and light. There's the warmth that I really love about it. It kind of is not present in a hair mist. Maybe my nose is hallucinating, I don't really know, but I want to have a perfume, and maybe I'll be mixing them together, because it just, you know, I feel like perfume really does smell different. And if I would have to give you advice, then I would say get the perfume. Hairspray does the job, but it's not 100% the same as the perfume. And the next scent is Iris Malikhân by Maison Crivelli. And also, for some reason, for the longest time, I was not excited about trying this scent, because iris is not my favorite note. Like if you notice, I rarely feature iris-based fragrances just because it's, again, not my favorite. You know, I love Celine Iris. I love how it's done. It's very buttery, very smooth. But overall, I just don't tend to gravitate towards this note. But this one is an exception, big exception. It kind of reminds me, in terms of smoothness, of Celine fragrances. They are, you know, very soft, very smooth, just so buttery. And Iris Malikhân smells also very soft, buttery, and smooth. And the magic happens in the dry down. But let me start with the opening. The opening of this fragrance is quite green. There is galbanum. It's a very kind of green note, and it does smell kind of intensely green and a bit earthy in the opening, which is like not my favorite, but the opening goes away super quickly. And again, it's still pleasant, it's just not something that I usually gravitate towards, but like I've said, it goes away super quickly, and then you're left with the most beautiful, delicious, kind of gourmandy iris. There's leather, there's coriander, but again, this fragrance could not be described by notes. It just smells like a butter, like iris type of butter. It smells like chocolate, like there's no chocolate, but it definitely do pick up some chocolatey accords. It just smells so sweet, so like addictive, but addictive not like in seductive or kind of playful way. It's more so like very chic. This fragrance definitely is for somebody who lives in Paris, you know, for somebody who is very well put together, always has like a book in her hand. It's just very chic fragrance, and it smells super smooth, super buttery. And if you're in any way like a fan of iris, then you have to try this scent. And even if you're not like me, still give it a chance, because this is one of the best iris fragrances I've ever tried. And another fragrance that was complete unexpected love for me is Oud Satin Oud Extrait. And I tried the original Oud Satin Oud a couple of years ago. I did not like it at all. I got rid of the sample, and that was it. And recently I was at the mall, I was trying fragrances. I was like, let me try Oud Satin Oud again, because I'm kind of curious. I tried it, and again, it was kind of not for me. It was a little bit too dry, too masculine. And then a sales associate told me, try the Extrait version, it's my favorite. I was like, yeah, why not? I tried it, and I was like, wow. I was very intrigued, and I asked her if she can give me a sample, and she made me the sample, which I really appreciate, because it really truly gave me an opportunity to discover the scent and to wear it and to live with it and to see how it opens up. So I really love when sales associate give you samples, because it's worth it. It's worth it for them, you know, because I will go back and buy this fragrance eventually, and it's worth it for a buyer, of course. And so this fragrance is the best oud rose scent that I've tried. You know, I spoke on my channel about other like rose oud fragrances, including Ombre Nomade by Louis Vuitton, and this wins for me. It's so rich. It smells like wealth. It smells crazy. It smells very expensive, luxurious, but this is also super intense. Like I sprayed one spray on my wrist, and I went about my day, and it was so intense, like it was projecting like crazy. For the first couple hours it was even a bit too much from one spray. This is the most powerful fragrance I've ever tried in my life. I make this big statement because it's true. Like, I've never smelled anything that projects like that and that, you know, fills up the whole room just from one spray. So be careful with that, and if you ever end up buying this scent, it'll probably last you a lifetime because you only need one, max two sprays, maybe like two sprays in the colder weather. So this fragrance obviously smells like rose and oud. Those notes are the most prominent for me, but also there's vanilla, there's caramel. It kind of makes it very well-rounded, very smooth, and it gives it much needed sweetness. I feel like the oud Satin Mood, the original version, did not have much sweetness. It was very dry, and that's what kind of turned me off. This one definitely fills the gap. You know, it makes it sweet, luscious, addictive, just so warm. There's also amber, which, you know, adds more warmth. And so the verdict is that if you like rose and oud combos, give this fragrance a chance because it smells incredible. And last but not least is Guidance 46 by Amouage. And this fragrance also has my heart because it's just so well blended. It smells like rose, some pear. It smells also very nutty and smooth. There's also vanilla, and the base is this Akigala wood, you know, the signature Quentin Bish Akigala wood combo with vanilla. It's just so addictive. Also very kind of like intense smelling, like oud Satin Mood, but this one is definitely more kind of feminine, more calm, and it definitely makes a statement, but it's still not as loud as the last fragrance. This fragrance can be worn every day if this is something that you're going for. This is very kind of confident inducing fragrance. If you want to make a statement, if you want other people to smell you, then Guidance 46 will be for you. And of course you do have to like rose and this like combination of Akigala wood and nuts and vanilla, because otherwise you're not gonna love the fragrance because those notes are the most prominent. But if you do love those notes like I do, then definitely give this one a chance because it's super good. Thank you so much guys for watching this video. I really hope that it was helpful and I really hope that you enjoyed it, and please let me know what have you been reaching for lately. What are your favorite fragrances lately? I'll be really curious to read your comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!